Hey everybody, it's me Jill, and welcome to the Jill Informed Season 1 series. This is the recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 1, Episode 6, Beach Session. This episode opens with Katie, Giselle, Robin, and Ashley sitting in a restaurant, and they are talking about the RHOP Foundation fundraiser that, Katie's trying to now get Giselle. Well, Giselle, I think, is kind of on board with helping her, but she's also trying to get Robin to be on the hosting committee as well, because Robin has connections and Robin has experience with event planning. They fill Robin in on the yacht party that Karen and Ray had because Robin was working that night. Giselle tells her that Michael took his pants off and tried to jump in the water. And Ashley's like, yeah, he's Australian. As if that explains it. Giselle and Robin are quickly becoming horrified that they are involved in this event that Katie is having because it's like 2 weeks away. She wants to raise $100,000. Katie seems to be just flying by the seat of her pants, has no real plans. And basically it's a hot mess. But Katie just thinks everything's going to work out because nothing she has ever done in the past has ever failed. Must be nice. They're also giving Ashley a hard time about her beach house because, she invited all the girls to join her in Bethany, Maryland, I think. I don't know. Anyway, that's where her beach house is. And Giselle's like, well, what's the sleeping arrangement? And she said there's 5 bedrooms. And so Robin's like, oh, so at least like 4 of us will be doubling up. And Ashley's like, yeah. And Giselle goes, well, I'm sure you'll figure it out. In a very threatening way. In Ashley's confessional, she said, I feel like these women are just waiting for me to fail. You think? Yes, Ashley, they are. Make no mistake about that. Katie's angry and she tells Robin and Giselle that if you don't believe in me, then you're off the committee. Before she sat down at that table, Robin didn't even know she was on that committee. So Katie threatening to kick her off, or I guess not a threat, I think she just did kick them off. That's no kind of punishment, Katie. They didn't want to do it in the first place, and if they did do it, it was as a favor to you. So she's very full of herself. Side note, I am in love with Katie's necklace. It's beautiful. Now we see Charisse with her kids, and we see Giselle with her girls. Her girls are, oh God, they're in a salon, and they're all getting their hair done because they're going to stay with their dad, I guess, while Giselle is at this girls' weekend trip. And Giselle's like, are you going to miss me? And one of the little ones goes, no. Oh, and the other one, she has this little container of beads on her lap, and she's sitting there beating necklaces. Oh, you guys, I love these girls so much. Please tell me they stay sweet throughout the years. Because at this point, I'm sure they're like teenagers, and it would break my heart if they aren't like still the way they are now because I love them so much. All right, so we get the montage of seeing everybody preparing to go away for this girls' trip. Katie is not loving the other women right now, but she's going to support Ashley. Oh my God. Karen is making Ray carry her heavy suitcases down the stairs. What is really going on, you guys? Karen says she's very skeptical about how this trip is going to go off because, Ashley is the host. But I'm going to mentor her. I consider it charity work. I love the whole Karen taking Ashley under her wing. I'm so here for this storyline. Ray asks Karen if she's getting her own room. And Karen said, I don't sleep with women, so I'm sure Ashley is going to make accommodations. Katie has said that she swings both ways. And Ray goes, really? And Karen goes, I am strictly Ray. I don't think you want me sleeping with Katie. And Ray goes, it might be something to cross off your bucket list, huh? And she goes, it's not on my bucket list. I love that Ray has a cute sense of humor. Oh, Ashley really wants to be a part of this group. So she has come to pick up Karen and she is driving her to the beach house. I assume she's being mentored the entire way there. The other car is being driven by Katie, and she's taking all the other women. It's Giselle, Robin, Charisse, and Charisse's friend Brene. Okay, it is a 3-hour drive to Bethany. Giselle starts playing a version of Marry, Shag, Kill, but not the right way. You know how with Marry, Shag, Kill, you name 3 men and you have to pick which one to marry, which one to shag, which one to kill. Well, in Giselle's version, she just puts out one name and you answer whether you want to marry him, shag him, or kill him. So she says, Bill Clinton. And oddly, everyone wants to shag him. Not me. But okay. They just think he would be like a real freak. Katie said, I feel like he'd have women's panties on his head. But the funniest part is next. Giselle goes, okay, how about 50? First of all, this is so bad. And my apologies to 50 Cent. They all say no. They just say no. Like, you don't want to marry, shag, or kill him? Or did they forget how to play the game? And now they think it's just Giselle is going to name a man and then they say whether or not they want to have sex with him. Because they just say, no. And then, oh God, you guys. Giselle said, I feel like he would lick you. I feel like he would lick you someplace you don't want to be licked. Like your armpit or something. Oh God, it's just so funny. And then like just so unfair to 50 Cent, but you know. Side note, I would marry him. Because I think he's smart. He's rich. I think he's kind of cute. So in the other car, Karen asks Ashley if she has assigned rooms for the ladies. You guys, not since The Real Housewives of New York have I ever seen or heard so much chatter about room assignment on a trip. So Ashley says, okay, so we have 2 rooms with 2 beds and 3 rooms with 1 bed. So she gave herself, Karen, and Katie the single rooms, and she is doubling up Giselle and Robin because they're friends, and Charisse and Brene because they're friends. Karen goes, I think that works. Well, it works for you, Karen. In the other car, now they're grilling Katie on her dating history. I guess she dated T.I., did she? We know she used to be with Russell Simmons, but oh, here's the tea. While she was still living with him, he started dating somebody else. Not just like I'm cheating on Katie and I'm not going to tell her about it. Wait for this. He moved the new woman in and moved Katie into a guest room. And she stayed. Katie, girl, have some dignity. I'm beginning to understand the relationship with Andrew a little bit better now. What would possess you? Any one of you guys, let me know in the comments below. What would possess you to stay in your boyfriend's house after he moved you out of his bed and into a guest room because he's got another woman? I'm like, that doesn't, not even in any situation can I imagine that being okay. Okay, Ashley and Karen get there first, and the beach house is beautiful. Karen's room is lovely, by the way. She's got a view of the beach and a big king, or at least a queen size bed. It's really nice size room. The others get there now, and Ashley is, you know, she wants to be accepted, and she's a little bit nervous. She thinks these ladies are very, very high maintenance. Well, they are, to be fair. And so she has hired a chef. And, oh, the chef. It looks like a husband and wife, maybe. They're old. And the ladies hate the food. And, you know, to be fair, it looked bad. It looked mushy, like a lot of heavy sauce poured over chicken. And I don't know. It didn't look great. And according to the women, I guess it didn't taste great. And then, to add insult to injury, the chef came to the table, said, how did everybody enjoy their meal? They all politely said, yes, it was great, thank you. And then she turns to Ashley, hands her an envelope, says, "We're going to leave now, so if you could take care of this." At the dinner table with all the guests still there. I'm with Giselle on this one. That was beyond tacky. Like, who does that? Now it's time for Giselle to see where she's sleeping, and it is a tiny little room with 2 twin beds. Robin sees it and she just like bends over laughing at how tiny it is. But she's kind of okay with it. Giselle, not so much. Giselle says, "What the hell? You want me, a grown, sexy, hot woman, to sleep in a kiddie bed? Are you kidding me?" Charisse and Brené's room is not much better. It's pretty much the same thing, 2 twin beds. And so now Giselle and Charisse are Googling hotels in the area, which, come on, that's rude. And also, how much time are you actually going to spend in that bedroom? You know what I mean? Like, you just have to sleep and then you're just hanging out in this gorgeous home, right? I don't know. I think they should have had the same attitude that Robin had. Well, there's nothing available in town, so they have to stay there anyway. Side note, even though I think they should have been much more gracious about their room assignment, I would have given up the master. I've said this before, like, it was the same deal in New York when Ramona had the master bedroom suite and shoved Luann in the basement. I would have slept in the basement. You're not spending that much time down there anyway, and give the best rooms to your guests, I would think, right? I don't know. All right, so the next morning, they all head out to the beach for surfing. Of course, Giselle doesn't want to do it. Karen doesn't want to do it. And so she and, who else? Charisse, the 3 of them, they just sat in their beach chairs and watched the others try to learn how to surf. Later, Katie, Charisse, and Brené go to the store to pick up crabs for lunch, and it is then that Katie complains to them about Giselle and Robin and that they wouldn't help her with her charity, and she now enlists Charisse and Brené. They both said, "Well, we'll help you any way we can." So suckered somebody else into it now. They come back with the crabs. They're sitting on the deck. They're all eating lunch. And Ashley decides to make conversation by talking about going number 2 in front of Michael. Strange lunch conversation, but okay. So Charisse is trying to turn the conversation around, and she talks about how she created this thing for, I guess, all the NBA wives called the Sister Circle. And I don't know if I would call it a support group, but it was a place for like all the women to get together and share their feelings and say nice things about each other and stuff like that. She wants to now go around and have everybody say something they like or they admire about another one of the women there. I wonder if this is where Lisa Rinna got her idea of first impressions. As you might expect, it started off great, and then it turns bad when they get to Katie. Giselle gives a backhanded compliment. So does Brené, actually. By the way, who is Brené? I guess she's just a friend of. They keep saying she's a friend of Charisse, but she's been on every episode. Anyway, the conversation turns to how Katie and Andrew were pawing at each other at Ashley's birthday party. The next part of this exercise is to now just share something with the group about yourself that you're going through, or I don't know, whatever, something you want to share. Giselle tells another poop story. Charisse talks about her marriage collapsing, and she's kind of crying. Karen shares that her mom was just diagnosed with dementia, so that's also cheerful. And then Robin really breaks down, and she said that she and Juan had a best friend who was lying to them and took all their money. To be continued. That's where this episode ends. Yeah, a little bit of a cliffhanger there, because I think this is the first time we're hearing like why they are in financial trouble, right? All right. Thank you so much for joining me, you guys. I hope you are still liking this look back at season 1. It's been really fun for me. I am thoroughly enjoying these Housewives from Potomac. I hope you guys are too. Please subscribe to my channel and give this a thumbs up if you liked it. As always, leave a comment down below. I love to hear from you guys. And I will be back next week with the next recap of the season 1 series of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Stay safe, wear a mask. I love you guys. See you next time.